Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. The author of this book a few years back wanted to understand how people cope with failure. She brought a group of children together and gave them puzzles to solve. She started with easier ones and kept making them difficult and harder as the time went on. A group of the children, the students, at some point were discouraged and frustrated because they couldn't solve the puzzles. Another group, though they couldn't solve, one 10-year-old shouted, "I love a challenge." Another said, "I thought this would be informative." The author said the difference between these group of students is their mindset. The book we are going to discuss today is called The Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. This book is basically based on two main ideas, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. But before we get into the details of this mindset, let me share an example in the book and some questions for you to ponder on. Let's say you are a student. One day you go to a class that is really important to you, that you like it a lot, and then the professor comes to class, brings your midterm papers, and you get a C+ in that paper. That evening you are going home and you realize that you have a parking ticket. When you get home, you are really frustrated and you call your best friend to tell her what happened, but somehow she brushes you off. What would you do? What would you feel? What would you think? Ponder on these questions. Put yourself in that situation and ponder on these questions. I'll come back to it, but let's go and explore the two main ideas, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. Someone with the fixed mindset accepts the idea that abilities, aptitudes, talents can only be proven or not, while someone with the growth mindset believes that these traits are not fixed. They can be cultivated, they can be learned, they can be changed. However, this mindset leads to behavior traits. People with the fixed mindset avoid new challenges when they feel they give up easily. But people with the growth mindset are usually people who are persistent, they are tenacious, they view criticism constructively. The thing worth noting here is that both mindsets are choices people make, and because of the choices you make, it affects every area of your life. Whether you are somebody with a fixed mindset, it affects everything you do. If you have a growth mindset, it affects every area of your life too. And so people with the fixed mindset care whether learning passed a test, and they don't really care if whatever they learned they actually understood it and can be applied to their growth in the future. And so when they fail at something, they see themselves in general as a failure. It's not that they failed in this particular part, but they define themselves as people who failed. Rather, people with the growth mindset, even if they fail in a situation like, they see it as an opportunity to learn more and improve themselves. And so these mindsets are actually traps that people set like a stage for their future success or their future failure. And so people with the fixed mindset become fearful after experiencing failure. They are very reluctant to try new things. They just see themselves as people who cannot really succeed or who are failures, and it limits them to actually try new possibilities. While people with the growth mindset are the opposite of this, and this affects every area of your life. If you have failed in something, now you are scared to try other opportunities. You are scared that you might fail again. You see yourself as someone who easily fails, but these are choices people make. She says that these mindsets, both the growth and the fixed mindset, are choices people make. Remember the story of the student getting a C+ in an exam. The author said when she asked people with a fixed mindset, they responded by saying, "I would feel like a reject. I would feel like I'm a total failure. I feel dumb. I feel like nobody loves me. I feel like I am worthless. I feel like there's no need putting in efforts because all your efforts become useless and nobody loves me," and all those kinds of things. You have to know that this wasn't even a final exam, but it was a midterm. It wasn't like a car wreck or an accident, but it was just a parking ticket. The friend probably didn't just brush it, or maybe the person was busy or engaged in something, but somehow because of the kind of mindset this person have, they see themselves as a failure, and they would live with that kind of mindset approaching things in the future. However, she said when she asked people with the growth mindset, they said things like, "I would work harder in class, I would work out things with my friend, I'll make sure that anytime I'm parking my car, I am more careful," and those kind of things. And so your mindset shapes the way you view things, and it affects every decision you make as you grow. The good thing about this is that you can always change. If you realize you are somebody with a fixed mindset, you can start thinking and seeing things and viewing the world in a different way. You can start reacting and behaving in a way that will help you adopt the growth mindset. And so if you realize you are a fixed mindset, it doesn't mean that is the end of the world. You can actually change the way you behave or change and have a mindset shift in your life. Now let's go ahead and look at how these two mindsets affect our relationships, our businesses, and even affects people who are in sports. Let's discuss the growth and fixed mindsets in love. People with the fixed mindsets in relationships see rejections as labels. They feel judged, and when they get an opportunity, they want to revenge. However, people with the growth mindset also see rejections differently, though it actually hurts. They see it as an opportunity to reflect on themselves and learn. So with these people who are in this growth mindset, rejection is about understanding, it's about forgiving, it's about moving on. They don't brand themselves as people who are rejected. Sometimes you see somebody always saying that I am unlucky in relationships, I'm always rejected, I am always this. Probably it's your mindset. It's your mindset that is making you feel like you are a reject. So you start branding yourself as somebody who is always rejected in relationships. And this stretches to other areas. People with a fixed mindset expect good things to happen in the relationship automatically without effort. They think that their partner should know what they think, how they feel. I mean, it's like their partner should read their mind without actually deep communication. They think that love solves everything, and because they are in love with this person, everything is going to be fine. And so when there's a little problem in the relationship, they already start seeing it as a problem and not necessarily maybe just something small happening to their relationship. The growth-minded people believe that good and long-lasting relationship comes with effort. You have to work through your differences. They believe that even if you are compatible, good things don't just come naturally. They believe in the ability to grow and change and become better. And so they're always working, putting in much efforts to grow and be better. And so whether it's our relationships or our jobs, there are no relationships and jobs without problems, but you choose the set of problems you solve. I mean, looking at your commitment levels and so many other factors that comes in, you choose which one you can solve, you choose which one you can deal with, and maybe if you are not compatible, you walk your way. As I said earlier, these mindsets also affects people in businesses. People with the growth mindset are usually not scared to ask questions. They are usually not scared to face failures and challenges. And sometimes when failure is looking at them, right? When failure is facing them, they are not scared to enter into it. They will struggle through it, find a way to manage it while having the faith that they will succeed. People with a fixed mindset are actually different. They are scared to take risks. They are scared to take up challenges. They are scared. And sometimes when they are leaders, because of their reputation, they do not want them to be branded as some way. So they would rather just do something to cover up their mistakes and actually face the challenges and solve the problem and help the business succeed. These mindsets also affect people in sports. She says that sometimes your ability can take you to the top, but then you would have to have the growth mindset to be better and keep improving. Let's say you want to get into basketball. When you are already 7 feet, probably the fact that you're 7 feet will get you into being part of this basketball team, but you'd have to have the growth mindset, the ability to improve, the ability to be persistent, the ability to be consistent, the ability to want to work and put in the effort. So this is about having the growth mindset in which this can help you to become better. She spoke about so many things in the book, how this growth mindset and fixed mindset affects every area of our lives, between teachers and students, parents and their children, so many other things. It's a book I would recommend to everybody, especially if you are a student. I mean, it will help you think in a certain way that if you fail an exam, you are not a failure. Maybe there's just more room for improvement and so many other areas in life, as I have already mentioned. So if you enjoyed this video, check out this video here about the book that changed the way I think. Very, very, very interesting book. You should see it out. And a video here about the 5 books I'm recommending for you to read in 2023, in which this particular book was part. And there are 4 other amazing books in that list. You definitely want to check it out. Until my next video, stay safe and bye. While going home that evening, you realize you've gotten a parking ticket.